Technology no longer just assists us. It guides us. Not openly, not loudly, but constantly. Every day, invisible systems influence what we see, what we choose, and what we pay attention to. What we watch is suggested before we search. What we buy appears before we realize we want it. What we focus on is shaped by what stays in view the longest. This guidance doesn't feel restrictive. It feels helpful, convenient, effortless. And that is precisely why it works. There is no force involved, no commands, no clear instructions. Instead, design does the guiding. Algorithms quietly learn patterns. They observe behavior. They adapt, refine, and optimize. Over time, they begin to anticipate choices before choices are consciously made. Paths are narrowed subtly. Options are arranged strategically. Certain ideas rise to the surface while others quietly disappear. The result feels natural, almost invisible. We scroll, watch, click, and engage without noticing how carefully the experience has been shaped. Technology becomes a companion, always present, always adjusting, not telling us what to do, but influencing what feels easiest to do. This guidance reshapes habits, it shapes preferences, it even affects how long our attention lingers in one place before moving on. Over time, the line begins to blur between personal choice and digital suggestion, not because control is taken away, but because it is gently redirected. The most powerful guidance is not the kind we resist, it is the kind we barely notice. And as technology becomes more seamless, more personalized, and more deeply integrated into daily life, its influence becomes quieter and stronger, guiding behavior, guiding attention, guiding direction, all without ever asking for permission. The economy is also changing, quietly. Not through sudden collapse, not through dramatic announcements, but through steady, almost invisible shifts that reshape how people work and how they survive. Stability, once expected, is no longer guaranteed. Career paths that once felt secure now feel uncertain. Industries evolve faster than job titles. Roles change before people fully settle into them. Skills expire faster than ever. What was valuable a few years ago can quickly become outdated. Tools change, systems update. Knowledge must be constantly renewed. Learning is no longer something that happens at the beginning of life. It becomes continuous, ongoing, necessary. At the same time, the definition of work itself is shifting. Offices are no longer fixed locations. Work happens at kitchen tables, in shared spaces, across time zones and continents. Laptops replace desks. Video calls replace meeting rooms. Teams form and dissolve without ever meeting in person. This flexibility creates opportunity, but it also creates uncertainty. Boundaries blur. Work hours stretch. Rest becomes harder to protect. Income feels less predictable. Careers feel more fluid. In this environment, adaptability becomes survival. Those who adjust quickly find new paths forward. Those who hesitate risk being left behind, not suddenly, but gradually. The pressure to stay relevant quietly grows. People are asked to do more, learn faster, and remain flexible in systems that are constantly evolving. Security shifts from positions to personal resilience, from titles to transferable skills, from long-term certainty to short-term navigation. This economic change does not announce itself. It unfolds in subtle ways, in contract work replacing permanent roles, in side projects becoming necessities, in careers built through adaptation rather than longevity. The world of work continues to move forward, reshaping expectations along the way. And for many, the challenge is not keeping up with technology, but keeping up with a system that quietly demands constant change. The future will not arrive dramatically. There will be no fireworks, no sudden revelation, no single moment that feels like a turning point. Instead, it will slip in quietly. Changes will accumulate. Innovations will appear gradually. New ways of living, working, and thinking will integrate seamlessly into daily life. At first, it may feel familiar, comfortable even. And that is precisely the point. The future does not announce itself. It becomes normal, routine, expected. We continue our days with small adjustments we barely notice. A new tool here, a subtle shift in habits there. A connection becomes digital. A workflow becomes automated. A habit becomes more efficient. And then, without realizing it, the world we once knew starts to feel like a memory. The past recedes, not suddenly, but in quiet increments. What once felt permanent now seems distant. What once seemed essential now seems optional. We glance back and realize that life has changed but cannot pinpoint the moment it happened. The future, in its quiet arrival, reshapes everything subtly. From how cities are built, to how people communicate, to how communities form. Technologies that once seemed futuristic become ordinary. Ideas that were experimental become standard practice. And yet, this change is not frightening. It is not abrupt. It simply is. A gradual evolution that asks little of us but gives much in return. It asks us to adapt, to observe, to notice the small shifts. Because by the time the change feels obvious, it is already complete. The future does not announce itself with fanfare. It arrives silently, fitting seamlessly into life as we know it, until one day we realize the past belongs to another world. And in that quiet realization, we understand how far we have come without even noticing.